GT3 cars are the most popular type of car class in the whole of sim racing, and they are in basically every sim out there, all from Automobilista 2 to ACC, which is based all around it, to iRacing. AC Evo will probably get some in the future, but even Forza Motorsport has them. I believe even Forza Horizon has GT3 cars. But all the sims have the handling model a bit differently. But Automobilista 2 has recently got an update which has made them handle even better than they used to. But there's still a bit of oddities with the GT3 cars, and I'm here to talk a bit about them and also talk about how to mitigate these issues. So let's head into the Lamborghini GT3 Gem 2, or Evo, what you want to call it, around Spa, which I know a lot of people like to drive. So let's head out and see what the issue is and how to mitigate it. So now we are here in the GT3, and I am going to talk about how you can actually drive them, because there are quite a few issues with these cars still. Okay, so when we talk about these cars, what they have really changed is the stability when coming out of the corner. There I pushed a bit too early, but there shouldn't be any big issues if we keep on going, just because we are not braking, except for some understeer through there. But the big issues come when we arrive into Sector 2, because it seems like braking has changed quite a bit in these cars. Now you can push a lot harder when you're pushing the ABS. So you can go, so you don't have to trail brake as much, it feels like. It feels like the ABS has become stronger. But it's in trail braking where there is an issue which happens. I want to see if I can actually try and get the issue. Otherwise I will have to try and get it unnaturally. But the thing is, if you trail brake a bit too much in these cars, it can lead to the rear spinning. So if we try... Okay, so it didn't work there, but I can definitely tell you if you trail brake a bit too much, it can happen. So you saw there. You could see it in my throttle in my brake input. I was trying to trail brake, but then it lost the rear. So I don't fully understand why that is. So I know at least for a fact that making the engine braking to level 10 actually makes the performance of the cars a lot better, so you will have a lot less issues in them. So that's something which is a good thing, which is good. But that doesn't really fix the issue though, since the issue is still there. And I really want to know why. And if anybody has an idea down in the comments, that would be helpful. But now I get to try with lower ABS to see if things are actually better. But just talking generally how to drive these cars is, in Automobilista 2 you want to be a bit safer with the throttle inputs and the brake inputs, but you can still push the car. You can push a lot in them with the brake. So when turning into corners you can go very hard for quite long, so it's a bit like ACC, but you still have to trail a bit. But if you trail too much, the rear loses grip for some reason, so you lose it. And then with the traction control, it works quite well, but you still will have a few issues if you're going maybe a tad bit too quick. So like you saw through there, what these cars really want is you to brake in a straight line and very hard before turning. So what I like to do, as you saw there, is sort of right before turning, try and point the car towards the apex and then sort of tighten the apex a bit and then throttle out. And this is only in the corners which actually need a lot of trail braking. And the other ones, like the hairpins, you don't really have to do that as much. So like here, you can just brake in a straight line and then trail brake a little bit. And you could also see from my lap time delta, me braking in that way actually helped me gain performance. Not through there, but through the last, specifically at the start of sector 3, you could see that on the entry I lost some lap time, but I gained it all back on the exit. So it is actually quite smart to do it if you're really struggling with braking in a straight line in the trail braking in these cars. So there I went off the brake a bit too much and I got issues. So obviously you still have to try and optimize your driving style to work for these cars, but there can be a few issues. So now I feel like maybe it's a good time to maybe talk a bit about the setup things I would do in these cars to try and help mitigate some issues which people might have with these cars. But maybe a bit before that, let's try and trail brake through here. Okay, so it seems like lower ABS actually helps quite a bit. Okay, no it didn't. You saw there it made me spin. So now let's just head off to the setup screen and let's make my camera a bit visible to see if it will work, but still a bit glitchy. Okay, so if we go here, let me also just turn off my overlay. We can see here everything here looks quite normal, but what you want to do is mainly where the fixes arise are here. So what you want to do is this engine braking. It's normal, it's on level 2, but if we do it to level 10, that actually helps quite a bit. And then here, what I've heard with previous things, if you lower the amount of clutches to like 2 or 4, it can help with sort of making it so you have less wheel spin, but there can still be issues with power delivery and things if you lower the clutches. So it's sort of a trial and error to see if it's actually better. Then otherwise, there aren't really any setup things I would do to actually fix that issue. But I can tell you what I normally do for setups. This is like what I do at the start of everything. So I do brake pressure to 100. Then here, I remove these bump stops because, in my opinion, in most cars, they don't really work. And they work most packers, so it's just better to remove them. And then here, yeah, engine braking 10, 6, 8. Everything here looks good. So then if we just do a little quick drive again, we can see if the car is quicker now, or if there would be any other issues. So instantly, obviously, we have cold tires, so the car won't be so quick at the start. So there you can see the power delivery. It's really spinning the tires, so you have to really get used to this. And I feel like with the, and what I mean used to this, I mean I'm talking about the cold tires. And I think some of the tires in AMSD recently got a thermodynamics revision. So the cold tires in this car is probably, I think it is this one at least, might be harder to heat up and also can be a bit more slippery. But if we just head off to those couple of corners, we can see if the issue has been mitigated. But I can instantly feel here the car feels a lot better, because with engine braking I feel like the rear during braking loves to move around. And it feels like you're going a bit too slow through the corners, so in general I just don't like engine braking. But there is a bug in some cars, I don't fully know which ones, or I don't remember I should say, but there is a bug in some cars where if you brake, if you have engine braking and do a standard standing start with engine braking like over 6, then it can make the engine explode, so think about that. I don't fully know which cars they are, but I think they're mainly the Formula cars and not really any other cars. I know it might be a placebo, but it does definitely feel a bit quicker. So if we just do one quick push lap, and I feel like I can definitely brake a bit later for there now. So let's see now. So yeah, going a bit smoother on the throttle for that first corner helped a bit. So obviously the changes should really be noticeable during braking, but also these packers can help during high downforce situations and other situations with pitch. So let's see. So the car feels quite nice still. You can see I've already gained quite a bit, but I don't know if that's just my driving or if that's the setup. But I feel like the setup has definitely helped. There are a few issues with braking. It feels like the brakes like to lock up quite a bit. So you see there, I'm like 2 seconds up my previous time, and if I brake a bit later through this last chicane, I can actually gain quite a lot of time. So let's see how much time I actually gain. So you could see that me just pushing the brake a bit harder helped, and I actually braked a bit too early for that corner too. So what you see here is a few setup changes and also just getting in general more confidence in the car. You can make yourself even quicker, and you don't really even need to have that so much knowledge on the car and everything. You just need to do a few setup changes, which you might see from this video, and you can actually go very quick. So let me just finish this lap off camera, and then I'll get back to you and just finalize everything. So one lap led into many laps, and now I'm 127th in the world in the Lamborghini. But to just summarize everything we have gone through in this video, the big thing with the GT3 cars now is they feel a lot more like, you could say, the other sims, like ACC and things. So I don't know how realistic that is, but at least when going on throttle, it feels like you have a lot more pull through the corner. I know on the exit, and what I mean is like you put on the throttle and the car goes straight and it doesn't go like that. So that's a nice thing. And then also when braking, it feels a lot nicer, like the ABS, but I don't know how much that have changed, but at least I feel like it could be placebo, but it feels quite nice. But when trail braking for medium speed corners, it can lose the rear. So what you want to think about is either try and brake in a straight line, or do the quicker fix, which is just taking the engine braking and putting it up to 10. And that helps mitigating the issue. And also you can do the few setup tips I've done through there. Then otherwise driving style, yeah, I basically said that you want to try and maximize entry and exit, utilize TC and ABS. Or that's how I see it. If you have any other comments, I know a lot of people are quicker than me, so comment them down below. And once you're done there, please hit the like button and also subscribe. My next video, we'll have to see what it's on, because as of recording this, Renato just opened up a sort of an Ask Me Anything page for physics and AI on the public space. We don't know if he will open the beta Ask Me Anything for anything development related to us beta members again. So we have to see. But if there will be a video coming out, if he closes it again before Sunday the week of uploading this, there will be a video on that which will come out. But if that hasn't closed as of recording the video, I will be doing a video on why NASCAR should come into Automobilista too. And I'll talk more specifically about the certain era of NASCAR. And you don't you worry, I am a European who has no idea, not a lot of knowledge on NASCAR racing and cars and all of these things, but I've been talking with in my opinion, quite a good guy on it. Maybe not fully an expert, but he feels a bit like an expert. So that should not be too much of an issue. So I hope to see you then. But until then, I've been Racing Legend, you've been my amazing viewers. Thank you for watching. Goodbye!